Okay, so today what we are going to see is today I'll explain what is Guidewire and and what is the overall architecture, what are different products available in Guidewire, and what is the training curriculum. Okay, so Guidewire is a company. Okay, it is a product. Okay, so insurance is so it is one of the major insurance product. So in US or in Europe market, insurance industry is the very big industry next to finance industry, right? So I mean next to banking, insurance is the major industry. So when normally when to operate any insurance company to operate in a market, they need their front end applications and back end applications, right? So in order to launch a new product or in order to maintain the IT related stuff, they have to invest a lot. So in that situation only, Guidewire is coming into picture, and Guidewire is offering a three different product to run the insurance operations. Okay, so basically this policy center, claim center, and billing center, these are three different products offered by Guidewire. So any insurance company can buy a Guidewire product and they can do the configuration and customization with respect to their own requirement. So they can all so the insurance companies can buy all these three products together, that is called as insurance suite applications, or they can buy only one product and rest of the applications can be a legacy Java or .NET based application. Okay, so what is Policy Center? Policy Center is an application which is to create, modify, renew, and cancel policies. Basically, to create and maintain the policies, we have a Policy Center application, and to create and process the claims, so that we have a Claim Center application, and Billing Center application is nothing but to maintain the invoices. Okay, so these three are applications, or we call it as a product. Okay, so Guidewire is offering this product, so any insurance company can buy any one of these product or all these three products, so that they can set up their own product. Like if I'm the insurance company, I wanted to launch my auto insurance product, then I can buy a Guidewire Policy Center product and I can do all the configurations and I can launch my product within 6 months of time frame. Instead of I create my own front end application, with the backend DB2 or any other database, it might take some time, right, to create it from the scratch. So to avoid all those things, Guidewire is offering this product. Okay, so we have to buy the product. The insurance companies have to buy the product from the Guidewire, and service-based company like Cognizant or PwC, those service-based companies will come into picture and do the customization and configuration to set up the insurance company's requirement in the Guidewire product. So that is the overall process. Okay, so the other major advantage of, I mean, there are other products also in the insurance industry. I mean, similar to Guidewire, there are Majesco or Duck Creek. So there are other products, but Guidewire is still leading in the market. The major reason why Guidewire is leading is Guidewire has all the out-of-the-box features. When we say out of the box, it is nothing but the pre-built, inbuilt uh, features. Okay, so for example, if in the modern era, any insurance company, so these three products, right, the Policy Center, Claim Center, Billing Center, these are admin system which will be used by the backend people, like the agents or the insurance companies own employees only can use. But in the modern era, everybody wanted to have access their policies in their mobile application or any web application, right? So to integrate Guidewire with any other third-party application or the front-end applications, Guidewire is offering lot of APIs. Okay, so out of the box APIs, the pre-built APIs, so that also can be easily configured. So that is one of the major reason Guidewire is leading in the market. So like any other client server technology, Guidewire is a three-tier architecture: data tier, application tier, and presentation tier will be there. And major thing is all these three centers, right? Claim center is a separate product, policy center is separate product, and billing center is a separate product. But all these three centers have four models: data model, user interface, application logic, and integration mechanism. So data model is nothing but your data. So like So here also in Guidewire also it's similar to the full stack developer. There won't be any front end developer or back end developer. When we say the person is a Guidewire developer, he must know how to configure the screens and how to set up the data model entities also. The table creation or adding a column, all those things. So that is that will be covered in the data model topics. And user interface is nothing but how to design the PCF. PCF is nothing but the uh, the page configuration files. That is what is getting converted as the HTML pages. And application logic and integration mechanism. So if you see that from the technical background, so if you know any one of these center, understanding and start working on other centers will not take much time, because the data model and application logic will be unique for each center. So claim center related data entities will be different, policy center related policy center application data entities will be different. Similarly, application logic also, each center will have different application logic, whereas the user interface and integration mechanisms are pretty much same. Only the functionalities, I mean the application logic and the application related data models will be different. So if you know one center completely, then learning and start working on other centers will not be going to take much time. Okay, so now we'll get into the policy center. So our training is for the policy center product. So the whole as I have mentioned, the policy center application is the purpose of policy center product or policy center application is to uh, um, um, create and issue the policies and maintain the policies, right? So this is the life cycle of the policy transaction. We can call it as a life cycle of policy or different transaction. The whole purpose of the product is to function on this life cycle. Okay, so there are a lot of other features, but all the features are designed to support this life cycle. So this is basically submission is a transaction. So submission transaction is nothing but when the customer is calling a okay. And other thing is, throughout our training we will be discussing taking the product of personal auto insurance. So personal auto insurance is nothing but buying the insurance for the vehicle. Okay, so car insurance basically. So if any person, if person A wants to buy a car insurance, he will call the agent, and the agent will get the basic details about the person, and he will create the quotation, and he will tell the basic premium, right? So that is called as submission transaction. Okay, once a submission is created and the person is satisfied with the premium, he will tell okay, go ahead and issue the policy. So that is when the quotation is getting converted into policy. So that is the transaction called as submission, and then the policy will get created. Once the policy is created, at between the start date and end date, the effective date and expiration date, we call it as a policy term. If it is a 12 months policy, I'm the customer, I call the agent and I ask for insurance for my car, then it will be from starting from Jan to December, I have a valid policy, that is called as policy term. And towards the end of the term, that is December 31st, right? If I don't renew the policy, then my policy will get expired, then I cannot raise any claims. Okay, the major purpose of insurance is to cover the losses, right? If any accident happen or if any loss happen, I need to get the uh, uh, I need to get the compensation. That is the major reason we are going for the insurance. So we are buying the insurance. So your policy must be active in order to raise the claim. Okay, if your policy is expired, then you cannot raise the claim. So there is that is called as renewal transaction. So if you wanted to continue your policy for another one more year, okay, another term, then you have to renew the policy. If you do not renew the policy, your policy will get expired. So that is when the policy will end. If in the middle of the term also, if you want to add a new coverage, or if you want to add a new driver to the policy, or if you want to replace your vehicle, so in India, the insurance will be, the car insurance will be for the vehicle, right? But in US and all, it will be like you can have more than one vehicle in your policy, you can have more than one driver in your policy. So so basically, we have to mention the drivers also in the policy. So if the person is getting married, he wanted to add a spouse, then he can do the policy change and he can add all those details. So similarly, there is a transaction called cancellation. If the person wanted to cancel the policy in the middle of the term, he can call the customer care and he can cancel the policy. And once the policy is cancelled, if he decides that no, I wanted to continue, then before the effective date of the cancellation, he can call the customer care again and he can reinstate the policy. So I'm not explaining anything over here now. I mean, it's all very high level. I'm just telling the I don't want to give all the detailed explanation and bore you, but this is what the basic thing which we will be seeing throughout the training. Okay, so I'm not going to explain all these things now. Let's focus on the training curriculum. So it is going to be 4 weeks of training. Okay, so depending upon the number of member in the batch, it is going to be between 1 to 1.5 hours every day. Okay, all 5 days. So first week it is going to be only fully fundamentals. Okay, fundamentals in the sense. So first day we will talk more detail about Guidewire introduction and different policy transaction. And second day it is going to be the data model. What is type list? What is subtype entities? New entities? How to create a new table? How to add a new column to the existing table? That is what this is all fundamentals to work on any of the Guidewire product, not only with the policy center. So all these topics, right, the first week topics, these are pretty much same for all three centers: claim center, billing center, and policy center. And UI architecture: what is PCF, what is location, what is atomic widget, how to add a radio button to the existing screen, how to create a new screen, or how to add a new screen to the existing left navigation job wizard bar. So all those things we will be seeing it in the UI architecture session. And then I will give you the uh, once these basics are taken, during that time itself Ravi will set up the studio and application in your machine, and I'll be giving the studio walkthrough, how to debug, how to load the test data, how to debug the application, and what are all the other things which we need to be careful when we are working on this Guidewire studio. So that will be covered in the first week. And second and third week is fully on configuration, and fourth week is on the integration. So in Guidewire there are basically two tracks. Okay, configuration and integration. Okay, so configuration developers and integration developers. So configuration is purely on configuring the things. Integration is integrating with the third party applications. Okay, so there are different types of integration mechanisms are there that will be taken care over here. So when you are working on a pure implementation project, so then these two tracks will be coming into picture. That means the configuration developers will not know need to know about anything about integration. But if you are going to work on a maintenance project or a integration maintenance project or the production support project, then the expectation will be the configuration developer should know little bit of integration, and the integration developer also must know little bit of configuration, because it is going to be purely a bug fixing or a incident management, right? So that is why we cover both over here. So configurations, the basics we will take it in the second week. So account and policy transaction, again whatever was not covered during this policy transaction, this will be covered over here in a very detailed way. There are some complex scenarios like out of sequence, preemptive transactions and all. Everything will be covered over here. And product model, how to configure the product, model, what are all the coverages, how to configure coverage terms, how to configure the users forms. All those things will get covered over in the second week. Okay, so the forms itself is a very big topic. How to what is the forms inference logic, all those stuff. And then third week is again policy center data model. So this data model is nothing but, here what we saw is the basics fundamentals of data model. Here what we are going to see is the policy center specific core entities. Okay, what is policy entity, what is policy period entity, how policy is related with policy period, what is job entity. So there are a lot of entities, right? So those entities we will be seeing it over here. And similarly, underwriting issues, permission configuration, activities, question set configurations, product model availability, all those things will be taken care in the third week. Fourth week is about introduction to integration, and this GoSu and GoSu queries, which is not very specific to integration. It is common for all these configuration and integration. So I'll be taking this a little bit earlier, mostly in the second week. So that you will get interested, because this GoSu we will be using in the forms logic or validations everywhere we will be using it. So that is the language Guidewire supports. But if you know Java, GoSu is not going to be something new. It is actually derived from Java. Some unique syntaxes will be there. That's it. And then GoSu queries also, how to query from the front end. Okay, so that is also, there are some syntaxes we will be seeing that, and bundle database transactions, everything will be seeing. And then integration specific topics, what is REST web service, how to publish a REST web service, how to consume a REST web service, how to publish SOAP web service, how to consume SOAP web services, messaging mechanism, all those things we will be seeing it over here. Okay, so totally it is going to be just 4 weeks of training, and every week Friday we have reserved it for the hands-on review. So whenever I am taking a topic, I myself will be doing the hands-on, okay, in the session, and then the same you can try it on your own, and in the next day you can ask, or we have reserved the Friday for that one. So you can share your screen and you can show it, or you can ask me to explain one more time, or whatever you wanted to know, anything extra. That Friday is reserved for that hands-on review. Okay. Yeah, this is the overall plan for the training. Any questions?
Sir,
Yeah.
I have a one question for doubt.
Yeah.
What is the in real time?
Mhm.
We are going to the integration developer or configuration developer.
Yeah.
Like
So yes.
two modules you have to learn compulsory that in the real
So
time.
in the real-time project, so project will have two teams, configuration team and integration team, right? But
Yeah.
that will happen only if it is a pure development project. Okay, so integration will come into picture when we are originally implementing the project. Once the project is implemented and it is already in production and we are in the maintenance state, there won't be a specific integration team and all. So the expectation will be like, configuration developer also must know the integration details. Okay, so that is why we are covering both together. But if we need to give importance more on integration and less importance on configuration, we can go in that way in the training. But expectation from the in the industry is, though it is actually integration, even if you are an integration developer, if you are attending the interviews, they will be asking which center you are strong in integration. So either policy center or claim center or billing center. So in that case, you must know little bit about the configuration of any one of the center. So that is why we cover integration
And
along with all the centers.
okay, what is the GoSu language? It's depend. It's
It
only
is a
the
Java.
coding.
Yes, it is only the coding, but it is basically derived from the Java only. So either you can write it in Gosu in Guidewire, or all the Java language syntax will be supported here. It's very simple only compared to Java. It is more
Okay.
simplified version of Java.
Okay. No need to worry.
Yeah, you don't need to worry. I mean, if you know Java, it is basically same. If you don't
Java
know,
basics.
yeah,
Core
Java,
Java.
core Java basics only, nothing, no
Yeah.
complexity. If you know the if condition, if you know how to
Yeah.
write if
Else.
condition, switch, for loop, all those things, everything is same here.
Okay. The bugs are how to identify the bugs in configuration integration. Any developer, any module we have to the bugs is in real time. I'm asking.
Yeah,
Bugs
in
is
no, that anyway, the QA people will identify the defects and then will share it. So your question is how to identify whether it is a configuration issue or integration issue. Is that what your
yeah,
question?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that you will know once you go through the training, right? You will know that, okay, so these are all related to configuration, these are all related to integration.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, Ravinder, we can do that, but it depends upon the other people. So can we move the integration to starting then configurations? But you must know about the basics about fundamentals should be the first one. Okay, after that we can interchange whatever way we want. But it depends upon the other people who are in the training batch. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question here. So what are the prerequisites for this course? Actually, I am a BA in QA. So to start off taking
Okay.
Guidewire testing courses, but attending this development course also. So will it be useful? Can I shift my career towards development side, or
Yeah, so
is it?
most of our training batches will be from QA and BA background. So they might be already having the Guidewire knowledge, but they wanted to shift their career to development. So that there are many people who have attended and who had started their career. I mean, switched their career to development after attending our training. So it is fine. The only prerequisite is see Guidewire is again a product, right? So nobody, if I'm the interviewer, I'm going to interview you, I'm not going to be focusing more on whether you know the for loop condition, whether you know how to write the coding. That will not be my intention. My intention would be, okay, do you know how to configure a forms? Do you know how to configure the underwriting rules? Do you know what is policy change transaction? So that means learning the product, it is more about the functionalities and understanding the product and explaining. So configuration is 50% and 50% is only coding. I would say 60% is configuration, 40% is only coding. So if you know the basic hoops concept of core Java related stuff, so you will be learning easily in the coding perspective.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
there is nothing like a prerequisite and all. If you are able to understand the product and if you are able to explain it well, then you can easily switch it. And even in hands-on perspective also, we will give all the hands-on while we are doing, and if you can practice it well, it will be good.
okay, correct me if I'm wrong. So for my understanding is that first I should attend a Guidewire testing course, get all the fundamentals. I'm zero in Guidewire, so I don't know much idea. I never worked on Guidewire before.
You don't need to go through the testing. If you are fully focused on, you wanted to go to the development track, you can
Okay.
right away start attending this development, because here also we are covering all the functionalities, and then only we are getting into the technical details.
Okay, so whatever the functionality or the product knowledge about Guidewire you teach in
Yes,
for
because here
testing, you would
also
cover same thing here.
yes,
Mhm.
because
Okay, so
even for
two
the
courses.
developers the product knowledge is must, right? So
Yeah,
that
yes,
is
of
what
course.
people will be looking, because it is not like any open languages like Java or anything, so that people can ask any question. So it will be like if I wanted to onboard somebody to my project, I must know that whether this guy really know the product or not. That is what
Yeah,
will be
correct.
the first thing which I need to validate. So even the developer must know the functionalities and product knowledge. So that is what we will be teaching it.
So we don't need two courses, right? Teach the
Mm.
Guidewire testing and development same time. We can focus on
If
any
you
one and do that.
Yes, if you are very sure particular that you wanted to go for a development track, you don't need a two courses. But if you are still confused, you don't know whether you want to choose between QA and dev, first you can attend QA and then you can come back to development
Got it,
later.
got it,
That is, but
got
but our recommendation is you don't need to take two courses.
it. Exactly. Just I wanted to make sure it is not very complicated or tough, but the
Yeah, yeah.
way you are telling, I think it is doable. That's
Yes, it is doable.
okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Anyone has any other questions?
And sorry, I am not sure whether you covered this. What about the Guidewire software and all that? Will you take care of installing in our
Yes,
system?
yes.
I
It will
joined
be
late here, so I'm
Yeah,
not aware.
it will be installed in the first week itself. So you see here, right? Application setup, that is on your local machine.
Okay, then we can do hands-on
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. And it is too early to ask, but just I'm getting for knowledge. What about the certification, Guidewire certificate? A lot of job requirement saying Guidewire certified, will you help anything regarding the certification, or we need to do ourselves?
So we can help you to clear the Guidewire certification, but that will be not as part of this training, but we are doing it in a separate one. But we cannot, I mean, that Guidewire certification only the companies has to buy. So companies will have to connect with the Guidewire companies, and then they will buy the Guidewire certification key, and then we will be helping you, or we will be guiding you to clear the certification. Okay. But
So
all the topics, whatever we are this curriculum, right? This is what entirely given in Guidewire certification track also. So if you are able to understand, and if you are able to do all the hands-on over here, then you are eligible to write the certification. But only trick point is we will not be able to buy the certification keys on our own. It has to be be from your companies.
your company means first
Where
I
you
need
are
to get a
working.
job in
Yes,
Guidewire, right?
yes.
Because my current company does not have Guidewire, so that is not.
So whoever has the Guidewire will have some tie-up with all
Got
these companies, right?
Got it.
Only that, yeah. So
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'll talk to you separately once I go through certification.